Bill Maher says Trump is right that schools teach kids to hate America. That's why them staffers are protesting for Hamas. Here we go. Bill Maher agrees that Donald Trump that schools are currently teaching children to hate America, stating that he says under his administration, his next one, schools will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country, like they're taught right now. I gotta say, this one doesn't bother me so much. This one doesn't bother me so much because I think that this is what I see when I see kids demonstrating, these progressives demonstrating for Hamas, the most liberal people in the world, that, oh, good, we're going to give America its comeuppance, asshole America. This is they kind of have been indoctrinated this way. Maher emphasized a generational split between the Democratic Party, quoting, the kids seem to be with Palestinians and the older generation seems to be with Israel. Vinny, what are your thoughts on this story?
Dude, just I don't know. Bill Maher to me is one of the most flip-flopping. I know Adam. Oh, I know Adam. I can't wait for you. He's just
go for it.
He's the prime example of Trump derangement syndrome. That's all his network, dude. That's all real time. What Bill Maher was for 4 years was Trump, Trump, Trump. All he pushed was the left's agenda with Trump collusion. Trump's an agent. Vaccine. He pushed all the vaccines. Dude, I don't even think he's that funny. When's the last time you heard somebody go like this? Hey, guys, you know what we went to last night and was hilarious? Bill Maher. I mean, who's listening to an hour of, okay, God doesn't exist? Okay, it's boring. And was this yesterday, Rob, or a couple days ago? He had Roseanne on his couch of alcohol and I don't know what the hell this podcast is called.
Weed, a lot of weed.
She asked him, she's like, you got that MK Ultra thing. He goes, I don't know what that is. And then she goes, you know who Klaus Schwab? He goes, who is that? And then she goes, he runs the WEF.
Is this the clip?
This is the clip. Pat, is he, be honest, is he really this ignorant?
I've not seen it.
Okay, play it. I can't hear it, Rob.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
We can't hear it.
Program you're under.
Can you play it back from the beginning, Rob? Thanks, buddy.
No wonder I don't remember this.
No shit, you blocked it out, MK Ultra.
Who's that?
That's the mind control program you're under, Bill.
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
So who's Klaus Schwab?
The head of the WEF.
What's that?
Google it.
He really does, Pat. That's not like an act. He acts like he doesn't know who Klaus Schwab.
Do you think he's acting like he doesn't know, or do you think he knows? But
he knows 100%. Pat.
He knows Klaus.
He is such a lukewarm, flip-flopping bro. People like this better hope and pray that Donald Trump wins again, so they have shit to talk about. I hate somebody that one day he hates him. The other day he's like, oh, I like.
What do you think
thinks.
about what he says here? Because he says, he says that schools are teaching kids to hate America. Do you agree with him on that?
I don't think schools. Which schools? Not the younger grades.
Public schools. He's saying public schools are teaching kids to hate America.
Yes.
That's why they're supporting. You're saying yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
us.
Go ahead.
Yes. Well, number one, his podcast he does when he's not doing Real Time with Bill Maher, which is on HBO, and there's the After Hours that's picked up by CNN. Obviously, he used to be politically incorrect. It's called Club Random. That's what he does here with Roseanne. We had Roseanne here, 2 months ago?
Less than 2 months.
She's, let's just say, adorably all for rockers. But that's a different point. Bill Maher, what I respect about him, and I would appreciate if people on the left and on the right were able to do what he's doing. And what is that? He's actually calling out his own side. So there's no secret. Bill Maher is a classic liberal. He is not one of these modern day progressives. And even he says here, there's a generational split within the Democratic Party. Specifically, we're seeing this over Israel. The kids seem to be with Palestinians and Hamas, whereas the older generation seems to be with Israel. Obviously, he's an older guy. He's probably in his late 60s, early 70s. How old is Bill? But I would argue that he is probably one of the most important political voices in America today. So yes, he does have some Trump 67. Yes, he does have some Trump derangement syndrome. I think anybody.
It's not. Yeah, once you have it, you have it.
I'm seeing some cracks in the facade over there, where he's acknowledging Biden is old as fuck.
Yeah.
And are we really going to do this? Dave Rubin was just on his podcast. Did you see? Not on his
Yeah,
podcast.
and
on his show.
Dave holds his
On the
foot to
show.
the fire.
He was on the show.
I think Bill has done a good job this year of calling out the left just as much as they call out the right.
Tom, what do
he's
you
not a fan of the right.
What do you think, Tom?
But he's clearly not a fan of the new left.
Yeah.
Tom, this specifically, let me read it again, okay? Here's what he said. He said that under this administration, kids are being taught to hate America, to hate their country. Do you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. And I applaud the fact that he's saying these things. Now, if you back up and look at Bill Maher in whole cloth over a 2-week period, you'll see him say this on his show, this on the after hours, this on Club Random. Okay, fine. There's some things you're going to be upset about. But I'm backing up on it, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing a guy who is starting to say things, and I appreciate the fact that he's got the stones to do it. He made a very important satirical point in an opening monologue about the number of people per generation, percent per generation, that were identifying as trans or gay. And he was pointing out that, hey, something's wrong here. This is not it. And he goes, by this math, by 2050, we're all gay. He pointed that out, and he was with facts and figures. I appreciated he did that, and I appreciated that he made this statement because I think he's dead right. We're teaching kids to hate America, and he's correct. You look at the college campuses, to take the Hamas position, is not a patriotic flag-waving position. I think he's right, and I applaud the fact that he's saying some things now that show that he's turning, and to Adam's point, he's not picking on, he's calling out his side.
Now, do you think he's turning because he's having this epiphany, Tom, or he knows that nobody wants to listen to just a Trump-hating loser? People don't. No, hold on.
Wait. Stop right there. Not one of it. Do you think any of his producers are going to say, let's move to the middle because you're a Trump hater? Do you think anybody in mainstream media, there's not one person there unless they are
what I'm saying
as
is,
stoned as he was right there?
But he's
they're not going to do that.
But more and more you're hearing people like him going, yeah, but Trump was right about this, and Trump was right about that, and Trump was right. But meanwhile, all the years of him pushing that bullshit and dividing us, I don't forgive that easy. All that Russia lying to everybody, pushing the vaccine, pushing all this. I hate the fact that Americans, Pat, just become, now we're just like, oh, whatever, we're on to the next thing. No, we got to hold people's foot to the fire. All that shit that they push, all that hate, it's no wonder why people in the streets are hate. And he's talking about we're teaching kids how to hate. You taught Americans how to hate a president that loved the country. And now we're supposed to say.
Okay, so what do you do?
Well, man up to it. Okay.
People that commit a crime can go to prison, but there's chaplains in prison, and they can convert. What if this guy is having a slow move to the middle?
But he still shows his colors, Tom.
Okay.
You still talk about Trump. He thinks Trump is
fine.
still, when he talked to Dave Rubin, was like, Trump and Russia, no, he was involved. It's like, shut up with that shit. He's still stuck in that world, Tom. He still believes everything that Trump was evil and negative, and World War III. They pushed all that shit.
Vinny, how soon
I'm not giving
do
him
you
the same
think
status,
people
and I'm not saying he's at
switch positions? Like how soon?
Meaning what?
Okay, so like since you've come here, you've obviously gone full hard right. Good for you. You've embraced who you are.
Wait, define hard. What's hard right? I'm just a I'm a conservative Christian that was. What? We didn't.
A year ago, you would have never said conservative Christian.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't even have said those words.
What do you mean? I haven't been a Christian this whole time that I've been here.
Sure, I don't think you would have vocalized that as much as you are now.
This
isn't a knock on you. I'm saying you found your position, you found your lane, you're doubling down on it. Amazing. You're in that world now. Most people don't change positions quickly or even gradually. Most people double down on their position. What I think Tom is trying to express is that Bill is a classic liberal, just in the mold of JFK or even a Bill Clinton. And what he's essentially calling out is whatever this new liberalism or this new Democratic Party is, it ain't your grandpappy's Democratic Party. So give him a little grace to be like, look, a couple years ago, I didn't fucking see this thing coming. And especially when Trump was there, it was so easy to just double down on Trump. Cool, all good. I'm not even, like, if that's your thing, it's not your thing. But at least at this point, whether you like him or not, acknowledge that his positions are shifting, and he's calling out the people that need to be calling out. Because everyone was calling out the far-right MAGA extremists for years. Now that has shifted to the far-left, woke progressives, Hamas-loving, woke agenda, and give him credit for doing that, because he has one of the biggest bully pulpits on the left to be like, yo, motherfuckers, wake up.
Yeah.
Because those are the people that are watching his show. So in essence, what am I saying? He's actually doing more to help the cause you care about than anyone on the far right.
Okay.
And let's go the other way with that. Let's go the other way a second. The communists were criticized for referring to Hollywood. They had a phrase for them. What did they call them? Useful?
Idiots.
Correct. So you know what Kim did with that clip, that Bill Maher clip? She forwarded it to a bunch of other teachers and people that she knew. This is the clip where he goes through trans and he said, I'm sitting here in Los Angeles and it's almost fashionable to say that your kids are having an identity crisis. Fashionable. And he called it out. Kim forwarded around a bunch of teachers that said, you know what? I think he's exactly right. And I think it is happening this way. I think kids are influencing kids. I think kids that just feel a little alone are turning, well, maybe I should be trans as a solution. And guess what? That became useful. It became useful as a perspective, saying, you know what, maybe there's something to it. And I'm not talking about kids that say, I've always felt I was gay, Okay, I'm talking about all this confusion and sudden turning. His position is suddenly useful. So useful idiots can go both ways.
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing, and I'm going to give you the whole thing. What I do agree with what Tom was saying, and I think is essentially the question that Pat asked, are they teaching kids to hate America? I don't know. But what I do know is they're not teaching kids to love America.
That's a very good point.
That, to me, is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're out there basically saying, America sucks, don't hate, but they're not standing up doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
They're not basically learning how to basically say the pledge, the national anthem, to sing along, to basically be
Love
like...
your country.
Love your country, community, service, love America, the whole 1609 project or the Black National Anthem. We have one national anthem in this motherfucking country.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.